everyone, my name is Gus and I collect, and today I want to give you some Monster High facts. I thought it would be fun to just dig in a little deeper and tell you about some Monster High facts that you might have not known. I always think it's so fun to learn new things about Monster High, a brand that already exists for like forever. Even recently I learned some new things about the old brand, which is great because I think that's so fun because it kind of keeps the brand alive, makes you realize things like, whoa, I never knew that, and that's so cool and detailed. So I just wanted to talk about that today. And I'm kind of gonna separate it into two categories, like the dolls, like doll facts, and then the Monster High lore facts, like the storytelling and the names and all that stuff, basically. So let's get started with the most important thing, the dolls. First thing I want to talk about is Spectra. We all know what Spectra looks like. That's not really what we're gonna talk about. We're gonna talk about her face. Garrett Zander, the creator of Monster High, made Spectra with really defined cheekbones. It suits her, she's a ghost, you know, it makes sense. But later on, Mattel's marketing team was like, it's too scary, we kind of have to change it up, so they gave her more filled-in cheeks. But Garrett Zander later changed it back without them noticing. Another thing about Spectra is Spectra Haunted. So Spectra Haunted has two versions with two very different faces. You have the US version and the international version, and they both look very different. One looks like her original face, and the other one just kind of looks nothing like Spectra, which is crazy, and people call it the ugly face. But I think it's super interesting to find out things like these. Then Draculaura's swim class. You know, Draculaura's a vampire, she always has her fangs, but with Draculaura's swim class, she does not. Or at least in some of the earlier versions, she did not have her fangs. This was a factory defect. Later on, they changed it and she does have fangs in some versions, but the first batch has no fangs. Twyla's eyes glow in the dark. I always thought this was such a cool detail. When I was a kid, my sister owned Twyla. She found out and it was just so cool. And it just suits her whole character so well. Deuce and Claude had no articulation in the wrists in the beginning. We know the Monster High boy dolls, and most of them do have articulation in the wrist, just like the ghouls. But in the beginning, Claude and Deuce did not have articulation in the wrists, which kind of made them look really stiff and weird. You didn't really have posability, which is something I really look for in dolls, so I'm glad they changed it. Howlene's hair change. As we all know, Howlene is Claudine Wolf's little sister, and she was introduced in a 2-pack with Claudine. She had a super cute orange little afro, and she had this kind of tomboy punker look, which I thought was really cute. But Mattel's marketing team was like, girls don't like orange, so we're gonna change her hair into pink. And I think that is a mistake, because I think she looks so much better with the orange afro. I love the pink hair too. It looks really cute, like a little bubblegum moment, but it's not really Howlene. And we already have a couple of dolls with pink hair. We don't need another pink hair doll. Wisp has 2 lower bodies. I already showed how it worked in a TikTok video of mine that literally blew up, and I have no idea why, but I'm gonna show it again in this video. Wisp has 2 lower bodies. She has her legs and she has her tail. Now how it works, there's a little peg and you can just trade the legs for her tail, and the tail is also fully posable, which is also super cool. And it can stand on its own, that's really cool too. And as a kid, I was obsessed with San Diego Comic-Con dolls. As a person from the Netherlands, I never got the chance to own them, so having them is so amazing. And I was finally able to see how the tail worked, because no one ever showed it, which I thought was so weird. Like, no one ever showed how it worked, and I always was super interested in that as a kid, so yeah. Skeleta's legs are removable. Now, I found out about this recently because someone commented it on my TikTok video that her legs are removable. Now, I'm super careful with my dolls. I would have never dared to try that as a kid, but now I was like, okay, a lot of people are telling me that you can remove her legs, so let's try it. I was terrified. I filmed it and it worked. You can actually remove her legs, which is so cool. Invisibility's skin tone change. I literally found out about this when I got the Mall Monsteristas 5-pack with Invisibility in it. His skin tone changed. I don't know why they did that, but I think it looks really cool. His normal doll is kind of like this light blue color, and the bottom of his legs are transparent. But in the Mall Monsteristas 5-pack, his arms are transparent too. I think that's really cool. Maybe he's just slowly turning invisible. Toralai's tail. When Toralai first came out, she had a tail that you were able to remove, obviously, so you can change your clothes, but the tail was not really movable. It couldn't move at all, and it was kind of this really big thing in her back. Later up, they changed it with Persephone and Melody that it was just a tail and you could move the tail around, and that's definitely a really good change they made. Now let's move on to the little facts that are about the show and the characters. I only have a few, so maybe I'll have more in the future and I'll make another video. Who knows? Cleo and Claude used to date. What? I know. I would not see that as a pairing. Like, I don't think they are meant for each other at all, which is probably why they're not together anymore, but I think it was mentioned in Claude's diary or maybe in Cleo's diary somewhere briefly in the background, like, oh, we used to date. It's just an interesting fact, yeah. Valentine was supposed to be gay. Mattel's marketing team was like, it's not the right time. What do you mean it's not the right time? It's the right time to be anything you want, in my opinion. But anyways, it was mentioned though in his little diary that he had a crush on someone and that it was Spelden, Casta Fierce's brother. I love that idea and I would have loved to see a 2-pack of them, maybe a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. That would be great because I still don't understand why Wisp and Valentine were together. I feel like Wisp should have just been part of the 13 Wishes line, or maybe in a 2-pack with Gigi. That would have been great. I would have loved to see Spelden and Valentine together. Claudine's name was originally Howleen. I have no idea why they changed it, but it's okay. I like both of the names. And the name Howleen ended up with her sister, which is cool too. Draculaura is a vegetarian. Now, I think everyone already knew this fact, right? I mean, she mentions it quite often that she does not drink blood, eat meat, or like stuff like that. I am vegan myself. Not when I was a kid though, but I turned vegan at one point when I was like, I don't know, a couple years ago. A long time ago, actually. In 2016, I went vegan, and I'm still vegan to this day. But what always confused me a little bit is that she mentions that she's a vegan vampire. But then in another movie or in another webisode, she mentions she's a vegetarian, which is confusing because those are two completely different things. Of course, they both don't eat meat. Being a vegan means you don't eat any animal products. So no honey, no gelatin, you know, all those things too. No dairy, no eggs. And vegetarian just means no meat. So I'm still kind of confused what she is, but I think she's just a vegetarian. Those were all the facts that I have for you today. I hope you learned some new ones because I always think this is super interesting to learn about these things. And definitely let me know if you have some more facts that I can maybe put in one video and tell everyone, because I have a feeling that I have a ton of facts that I just don't know yet, and maybe not a lot of people talk about it, so that's why I don't know it, but I don't know. Definitely let me know. Thank you everyone for watching this video. I hope everyone liked it and I see you guys in my next video. Bye!